What's your emergency and how can I help you?
Oh, I'm just doing a traffic stop here. Your registration's expired. Did you know that?
That's your emergency?
Yeah, it's not an emergency.
Do you know it's a felony? Do you know it's a felony to pull somebody over with your lights if it's not an emergency?
It's not. It doesn't have to be an emergency. It's a traffic stop, sir.
I'm not operating in commerce, but I tell you what, go ahead and fill that out for me before we can proceed. I got a sick dog.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I need to take him in. So go ahead and fill that out before we can proceed.
Well, no, I'm going to need to see your driver's license, please.
I'm not operating in commerce. I don't use a driver's license when I'm traveling in my private business affairs. You know, the Supreme Court says that I don't need one.
Need a driver's license?
Yeah, when I'm not operating in commerce. If I'm using the road for hire, then yes, I do. But
you need to have a driver's license to operate a vehicle on the roadway, sir.
I'm not operating in commerce.
You're operating a vehicle on the roadway.
On the public road, and I have an unalienable right to do that, to travel. Do you know that?
With a driver's license.
No.
If you're driving a vehicle. You can travel.
I'm not driving a vehicle. I am traveling in my automobile.
You're driving your automobile.
No, I'm not a driver because I'm not in commerce. No, I'm not in commerce. Go ahead and fill that out for me, and then I can...
need to see your driver's license, please.
I don't use a driver's license, and I don't have one.
You don't have a valid driver's license?
No, I'm not operating in commerce in my private business affairs.
Okay. How about your name? What's your name?
What's your name?
My name's Officer Schumacher.
What is your name? You've got a name. You don't have a name?
Officer Schumacher.
Look, we can sit here for 30 minutes, and then you're going to call in, and you're going to let me go. Or we can sit and play this game.
You, sir.
Huh?
I don't plan on arresting you.
Okay, so if you're not going to read me my Miranda rights and charge me with a crime, I'm free to go, yeah?
No, you're not free to go. You're
I'm under arrest
right now.
So I'm under arrest.
You're being detained.
So I'm under arrest.
No, sir, you're being detained.
If I'm detained in my private business affairs without a victim, without a crime, I'm under arrest. So read me my Miranda rights,
or I'm the state of Illinois. You're operating.
The victim can't be the state of Illinois because the state of Illinois is a corporation. You got to have a victim. You got to have a flesh and blood man. Okay.
The state of Illinois can be a victim.
No, the state of Illinois is not a victim. Look, I'm traveling in my private automobile. I'm not in commerce.
What was your name again, sir?
Can't ever find anything when I'm looking for it. Hey.
Could I get that name, sir?
I'm not operating in commerce.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it very much matters.
No.
Yeah, it very much matters. And the fact that you guys don't know that, I understand. You're doing the job you've been trained to do. But unless you've got a victim and you've got a crime, you're going to read me my Miranda rights.
No, we don't have to do that.
You're detaining me.
You're not dictating this traffic stop. He needs your name and date of birth, and you're going to be out of here. Okay. You have a driver's license on you?
I don't use a driver's license when I'm traveling in my private business affairs in my private automobile.
Sir.
I have an unalienable right to travel. I'm sorry you folks don't know that.
Your name, Thomas? Sir. Sir. Excuse me, sir.
I hear you yapping.
Is your name Thomas Olmsted?
What is your name?
My name's Officer Schumacher. CFOM 112, do you have a 27 status for that individual? Okay, well you can take that to your court case for the traffic citation.
Write the stinking ticket then.
I need your name and your driver's license.
I don't use a driver's license when I'm
I
traveling.
can't write a citation to nobody.
Well, You have a crime? You have a victim?
I'm going to need your name, or you're going to be arrested for obstructing justice. Okay?
That would be good, because that would get expensive. So if you want to arrest me, you already have me under arrest.
You're not under arrest. You're being
Detaining
detained
me.
at this
So
point.
read me my rights, or I'm free to go. I have a passport. Would you like to see my passport?
Absolutely. Can I see that?
Sure. What's your RAS? That's your reasonable articulable suspicion that I'm operating in commerce? That's your SAF?
No.
What's your SAF?
It's a violation of Illinois Vehicle Code to operate a motor vehicle on a roadway with expired registration.
That's true. If I was operating in
Which is fine.
commerce,
Which
that's
is fine.
true. If I was operating in commerce, but I'm not.
Okay. Gotcha. So the no laws apply to you then?
No, that's not true at all.
Okay.
If I injure somebody, if I commit a crime, if I damage somebody's property, if I trespass on somebody's rights, I damn well better be held accountable, and I would expect to be. You don't have a crime here.
You're building a mountain out of a molehill is what you're doing, sir.
You think so?
Yep.
We'll see.
Were you wearing that seatbelt before I stopped you?
Gonna fill out that paper? I'm gonna assume that you're not going to.
TCOM 112. 27 right.
Hang on, bud. Hang on.
It's going to be the registered owner. I'm not sure if you got anything back on him. It said John T. Olmsted, date of birth of 8/11/63, 8/11/63. Correction, that's going to be 10/11/63, 10/11/63. Thank you. You do have a driver's license, sir.
I do not.
It is expired, but you do have a driver's license. You can have that back. Thank you.
Thank you. We finally decided to ID ourselves.
You gonna run this?
I already did, sir.
Oh, you already ran it?
Yeah. That's simple.
Hang on there, bud. It's gonna be all right. Don't you worry.
A little chilly out this morning.
Yeah, it is. I'm not operating in commerce.
Make an article for anything these days.
No, this is an actual court case.
Is it?
Yeah. and so are those.
Take it to the judge and go handle it. Want to read it?
See, the thing is, I'm not operating in commerce. I have an unalienable right to travel on the public highways. That's what the Supreme Court says. As long as I'm not operating in commerce.
With a valid driver's license.
Only if I'm operating in commerce as a
about-
driver of a motor vehicle, hauling people for hire, or a truck driver, taxi driver, or a government official in the performance of my duties. That puts me into commerce. Then I need a driver's license to operate, and I need your tags, state tags, and all the other stuff if I'm going to operate in commerce.
So why do you have plates on it if you don't have to have them?
Well, they're expired,
Well.
and I haven't pulled them off yet because I may want to jump back into commerce. I may want to do that.
That probably wouldn't be a good choice to take those off your plate because you can get off your vehicle and you'll get a citation for that too.
Well, the citation doesn't apply to me if I'm not in commerce.
So it applies to everybody else, just not you.
If they're operating in commerce, most everybody out here on the road doesn't need a driver's license.
Olmsted, you have insurance on the vehicle?
The public roadways
You have
belong to
insurance
the
on vehicle,
people.
Sir? Do you have insurance?
The public roadways belong to the
You
people.
don't have insurance?
The public roadways belong to the people. Okay? And they have a right to travel on it unless they're in commerce.
Well, sir, you can. Take
I'm
that
sorry
up-
you haven't been trained that way, but that's really the
You
law.
can take that up with the judge. Okay.
That's really the law.
Unfortunately, I don't think the judge is probably going to go with that.
Well, gosh, I don't know. I have a sick dog. I really need you guys to either read me my Miranda rights or
You're not under
release
arrest.
me.
You're not under arrest.
I've been sitting here for about 15 minutes. That's an arrest.
Okay. Well, he's
And you
facing
used
some
your
citation.
emergency flashers to pull me over, which is a felony if there's not an emergency,
That's not true.
unless I'm in commerce.
That's not true.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
That's fine. We all have cameras. So you'll be able to get those recorded if you need it. Officer Schumacher's writing some citations for you, and then once he's done, then you'll be able to do what you need to do. Go on with your day. You live here in town?
Oh boy.
Just trying to have a conversation with you.
Well, we can have a conversation, but not in your official capacity as a revenue generator. I'm being detained here.
Revenue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who? that sign again?
I handed it to him a minute ago.
The ignorance of the law is not excused.
Thompson versus Smith, America's jurisprudence, constitutional law. The right of the citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his property thereon in the ordinary course of life and business is a common right, which he has under the right to enjoy life, liberty, and to acquire and possess property, and to pursue happiness and safety. It includes the right, in doing so, to use ordinary and usual conveyances of the day, and under the existing modes of travel, including the right to drive a horse carriage or wagon upon thereon, or an automobile thereon, for the usual and ordinary purpose of life and business. Thompson versus Smith. The right of the citizen to drive on the public street with freedom from police interference is a fundamental constitutional right. Citizens have a right to drive upon the public streets of the District of Columbia or any other city absent a constitutionally sound reason for limiting their success. In other words, a victim of crime. Crenshaw Mills versus DC 2009. The use of an automobile as a necessary adjunct to the earning of a livelihood in modern life requires us, in the interest of realism, to conclude that the right to use an automobile on the public highways partakes of the nature of liberty within the meaning of the constitutional guarantees. Adams versus City of Patello. Traveler, which I am, has an equal right to employ an automobile as a means of transportation and to occupy the public highways with other vehicles in common use. If I'm in commerce, if I'm operating for hire, in other words, I'm an Uber driver, or I'm a taxi driver, or I'm a truck driver on interstate commerce hauling goods, or I'm a government agent in the performance of my duties, then I'm in commerce, I'm using the roads for hire, I need all the things that you guys are hammering me for right now. Everybody else has an unalienable right to travel in their private automobile.
And you can take that up in court again.
I'm just trying to educate you.
I don't need educated.
Nope.
I know what the law is.
The
I don't know what this law is, but I know what the laws of the law.
Do you know what the supreme law of the land is? You guys know what that is? The supreme law of this country? You don't know? Yes, you do. It's the Constitution for the United States and the Bill of Rights, amended in 1791. That is the law. All this stuff you're talking about here is a color of law. You work for a for-profit corporation.
So you just get to do whatever you want to do.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As I said before, if I injure somebody, if I damage their property, if I trespass on their rights like you're doing on mine right now, in any way, I am held accountable. What I'm trying to tell you is the stuff that you're talking about are color of law violations. They're victimless crimes. Okay? They're not constitutionally compliant with the Bill of Rights. You work for a for-profit corporation called the City of Mattoon, okay? In the for-profit corporation called the County of Coles, the for-profit state called State of Illinois. These are all for-profit corporations. They're not governments. You guys are operating under Title 18, Section 241 and 242.
You got a lot of time to research into this.
You know what I'm saying? I know you think I'm full of shit. You're operating under Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 241, conspiracy, and 242, deprivation of rights under the color of law. This is not my opinion. Now, I can keep going on these cases all day long.
Yeah, don't do that. I can't. Yeah.
I'm just trying to tell you guys, because you seem like nice fellas, and you don't run into guys like me every day.
Well, I think the judge might want to be educated on it.
Someday we'll see each other out, and maybe it'll be a different story. I really need to get inside. I got a sick dog. What's he up to? Oh, okay. You guys are officers of the court, right? You're not officers of the court. You're not out here generating causes of action, pulling me over because I had an expired tag. You're an officer of the court. You work for the courts for profit. That's what you guys do. So if there was a gunman in that building and he was shooting the place up, you'd run right in to protect all those people?
Correct. Yeah.
You would. Like the guys did down in Texas?
We're not in Texas.
seem like nice fellows.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. Title 18, United States Code, Section 241 and 242. Deprivation of rights under the color of law. That's what's going on right here. There's crimes being committed right now. And guess what? It's not me not having a valid tag. You understand that? You understand that? And when I rescission these tickets within 72 hours, which is my fundamental right to do so, it goes away. Now, if the county wants to pursue and set another court date, that's up to them. I'm not going to contract with you. Those tickets represent contracts. And I don't consent to contract. Everything in this world is commerce and contract law. Look, you guys have been trained to do your job. You guys are doing what you're trained to do. I understand. Randy, babe. Choppers, I need you to see Choppers. He's been sick all night. Throwing up and he's got diarrhea. Can you take him in now? He's probably thrown it up since 2 o'clock. He's probably
get him
thrown
back
up
in.
5 times and he's had diarrhea since midnight.
We're gonna run some blood work.
What do we got to do? I gave him some Italian beef yesterday for lunch and I shouldn't have done that. So I think that's what happened. My dog's a rescue dog. More people.
All right, Mr. Olmsted. Here's your citations. You're getting one for the expired registration, you're getting one for the expired driver's license, and you're getting one for no proof of insurance, all right? You understand that?
I don't stand under anything.
Okay.
I do not consent to contract with you.
You don't have to. So your court date's going to be
Oh, I absolutely have the
May
right
9th,
to not-
2023 at 9 a.m. at
I
Coles County
absolutely
Courthouse,
have
okay?
the right to not accept your contract.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't need anything else from you. You're not allowed to drive this on the road, though, okay? It's not legal to operate on the roadway.